Hey guys, getting comments is all about engagement. If you're suffering from getting no comments or low amount of comments, it means that you're not engaging with your customers or fans enough. As we go along this video, we will break down the different ways how to boost your engagement significantly so that you get more comments, likes, shares, and all different forms of engagement that are important. The first is lack of quality content. Posting content that doesn't resonate or offer value can lead to a lack of interest from your followers. That's no surprise. Quality content is characterized by its relevance, timeliness, originality, and value proposition. Value proposition meaning, what are you giving them? After they finish watching this video or reading this blog post or carousel, what are they going to leave with? Content that feels repetitive or doesn't offer a fresh perspective can result in fewer comments and interactions. So let's see an example of this in action. Maya loved sharing her thoughts and ideas on social media, but she noticed that her posts weren't getting many comments. One day, Maya decided to take a step back and look at her content. She was just sharing random stuff without really thinking if it was interesting or original. Very important point. She learned that quality content was key. Maya started researching and brainstorming before she posted anything at all. She began sharing personal stories, helpful tips, and unique perspectives. And guess what? Her followers started commenting more than before because her content value and excitement rose to a new height. In essence, as we're saying here, posting generic, non-original, and uninteresting content can basically deter followers from interacting with you. Make sure that you're putting thought behind what you're doing and not just doing what you see other people are doing, because it must be relevant to your business as well as to your audience. Next one is inconsistency in posting. I have a client who was guilty of this, and he basically stayed at the same follower number for a very long time. Consistency is one of the largest pillars of social media. Consistency is key in maintaining and fostering engagement. When followers can't predict or rely on a posting schedule, they may not be inclined to invest time in a page thinking it is inactive or unpredictable. People basically follow you because they expect something. They expect to get this value from you at X frequency. Most people don't realize that. They just post content and they don't understand that you have to be consistent. When you start, you shouldn't stop. And as point one stated, it's also about quality. Let's see an example of this. Alex, a business owner who sold handmade jewelry online. At first, Alex would post whenever he felt like it, sometimes every day and sometimes once a month. This made it hard for his followers to know when to expect new jewelry designs. But then Alex learned an important lesson. He realized that consistency mattered. He created a posting schedule and stuck to it every Tuesday and Friday like clockwork. Alex would share a new piece of jewelry. Soon his followers knew exactly when to check in for updates, and the comments started pouring in, full of excitement and admiration for the beautiful jewelry. An erratic posting schedule can disengage your followers. They'll just not respond. They won't follow you, they won't like your content, and they'll barely comment because they simply don't know what is going to happen next. People need to know what is going to happen next. They need to know that you're a reliable source of information or entertainment. It can't be erratic. It must be constant, consistent, and of high quality. Next up, we have a poor understanding of audience. Each audience has unique preferences and pain points. Failing to understand these nuances can result in content that feels misaligned. Audience insights, surveys, and feedback loops can help in refining the content strategy. Let's get an example. Lily is a social media manager from a skateboard company. She used to post content about the latest skateboard tricks and equipment, but her posts rarely got any comments. One day, Lily decided to chat with some of the skateboarders who followed the account. She learned that they were more interested in the skateboarding lifestyle, behind the scenes stories, and the community. Lily realized that she didn't really understand her audience. This is a massive key. Understanding your audience will determine every single marketing action that you do. Armed with this new knowledge, she changed her strategy. She started sharing stories about the skateboarders, the places they visited, and the friendships they formed. After a while, the comment section was filled with enthusiastic skateboarders sharing their own stories and experiences. audiences. Not knowing or addressing the preferences, needs, and the problems of your target audience can lead to low engagement. If you're interested in knowing everything about your target audience, we did a video about that in the past. You can find it here in the cards. I would actually advise that you finish this video and then watch that video after. You'll find a link for it in the description below. Let's move on. Over promotion. Followers want value, not a constant sales pitch. This is very important. A timeline filled with advertisement or self-promotion can alienate followers, making them less likely to comment or interact. Striking a balance is crucial. This is another major thing that a lot of business owners suffer from. You have a product, that's the only thing that you want to focus on, and you only want to spend your time selling to your customers. But the truth is that is not the best approach. Your customers need to have value before the purchase, so they are reassured that they will find value after they purchase from you. Let's do a scenario of this. Jake owned a small online shop that sold fitness supplies. He used to post about his products every single day, hoping to make more sales, but his followers were getting tired of all of the promotional posts and stopped liking or commenting. Jake learned an important lesson about balance. He began to mix things up. Instead of just talking about his products, he started sharing workout tips, healthy recipes, success stories from his customers. This made his followers happy because they were getting valuable information alongside the occasional product promotion. And you know what? The comments, the likes, the shares, and the followers, they started coming back in with people thanking Jake for the useful information. Nobody really likes to be sold all day, every day. That's not why people are following you. Yes, they like your product, but there is a lot more than just your product. Even if you have a recurring product, then there is still more incentive to buy if you're giving people more benefits, more values outside of just trying to get them to buy something from you. Followers generally prefer a mix of value added and promotional content. One of the next major mistakes that people make while posting on social media is ignoring interaction. Social media is about building relationships. Ignoring comments, questions, or feedback signals a lack of interest, which can discourage followers from taking the initial step to comment. Let's see an example of this. Sarah, a talented makeup artist, used to post stunning pictures of her work on social media. People would leave comments asking about the product she used or how she created certain looks, but Sarah was always too busy to respond. After a while, her followers felt ignored and stopped commenting altogether. They did not feel seen, they didn't feel heard, they didn't feel represented by Sarah. They just withdrew all of that support. Then Sarah learned that engagement was a two-way street. She started responding to comments and messages, answering questions, and thanking people for their kind words. Her followers were thrilled to see that she cared, and they started commenting even more. That is what it's about. The comment section became a place for makeup enthusiasts to comment, share tips, and appreciate Sarah's artistry. Failing to respond to comments and questions, it's a big no-no. It makes people feel unheard and reduce their motivation to engage in the future. Because if you did not respond to their comment today, they have no reason to think that you'll respond to their comments tomorrow. If you find this information extremely helpful, there is a guide linked below that covers all of this, and it will help you on an even more in-depth way to make sure that you figure out the best strategies of implementing this into your business. Link down below. Let's move on. No call to action, otherwise known as CTAs. CTAs guide followers on the next step. What should they do next? Without them, users might enjoy content but remain passive. They basically watch your videos and move on to the next video. That is not necessarily the goal of social media. Once someone watches your video, you want them to either watch another video, you want them to click a link, you want them to do something next, or else they may just remain passive. Let's see an example of all of this. Emily was a passionate baker who loved sharing her delicious treats on social media. She would post mouth-watering pictures, but her followers weren't leaving as many comments as Emily would have initially wanted. Emily realized that she never really asked her followers to engage. She just never asked. She started adding simple call to actions. Tell me your favorite desserts in the comments, or tag a friend who needs to try this recipe. Suddenly, people were were not only commenting but also tagging their friends and sharing their own dessert stories, just as Emily asked. Emily's post became a hub of dessert lovers connecting and sharing their love of sweets. Without a clear CTA, your followers might be unsure about how to engage or what actions to take next. Next up, we have optimized posting times. I see this as a point that a lot of beginners miss out on. Understanding when the majority of your audience is active is critical. Posting during off-peak hours can bury content under a pile of newer posts, resulting in fewer eyes and subsequently fewer comments. Let's see an example of all of this. Daniel was a tech-savvy gamer who wanted to build a following for his game-related content. He used to post whenever he had something cool to share, but he noticed that his posts were getting buried and barely getting any comments at all. Daniel learned about the importance of timing. He researched when most of his followers were online and adjusted his posting schedule accordingly. Suddenly, his posts were showing up at the top of their feed and comments started rolling in. His fellow gamers were excited to discuss the latest games, strategies, and updates, turning his comment section into a lively gaming community. Posting when followers are at least active can result in reduced visibility and engagement. Timing is very important. Let's move on to the next one. The lack of visual content. Visual elements grab attention. Images, videos, GIFs, and infographics can break the monotony and convey complex ideas simply, making it easier for followers to engage. It gives them more context, more stimuli, more information to work with, giving them more of a reason to leave a comment under your videos. Let's see an example of this. Ava, a creative artist, loved expressing herself through writing. She would post beautifully crafted paragraphs on her social media, but she hardly ever get any comments or attention. Ava discovered that visual content was a powerful tool. She started pairing her written posts with eye-catching illustrations. She even tried making short videos showcasing her creative process. Soon, her followers were leaving comments not only about her writing, but also about the stunning visuals she was sharing. Ava's comment section became a blend of appreciative words and discussions about art and creativity. Images, videos, infographics typically garner more engagement than text-only posts. These are for creators on Twitter and LinkedIn. You'll find that on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and the other platforms, you're more forced to do visual content, which is a good thing. It is not a bad challenge. You will see a rise in your interaction by simply finding special ways of converting your content into visual content. Earlier, we covered ignoring interactions, like meaning that they are reaching out to you. However, for this one, it's more about you interacting with your audience. Active engagement from the business side can stimulate audience interaction. Using features like Q&A, live videos can make your followers feel more involved. Also, by commenting on their posts or sharing user-generated content, businesses can create a sense of community. Let's see an example of this. Tyler was a friendly YouTuber who reviewed the latest gadgets. He used to just upload videos without paying attention to his audience's thoughts, but one day he realized that he needed to show them that he cared about their opinion. Tyler started using polls in his videos, asking his audience to vote on which gadget they wanted him to review next. He also showed up in live Q&A sessions where he answered their questions in real time. This made his viewers feel valuable, and the comment section exploded with excitement and gratitude. One live session, or maybe 10 live sessions for beginners, can foster a close relationship with maybe 5 or 10 followers, and those 5 or 10 people will automatically start to comment on your videos a lot more. Tyler's channel became a place where tech enthusiasts knew they could engage and interact with their favorite YouTuber. Posting alone won't cut it. Ensure to utilize the features that show you are interacting with them, such as polls, Q&As, lives, featured comments, or interacting with their posts. Going out to the people that actually follow you and liking, commenting, or sharing their stuff, it goes a long way. Let's do the last one. Failure to adapt. The digital world is pretty dynamic. Some of us aren't young, and we're realizing that things are moving extremely fast, and we have to catch up to play in the game that everyone else is playing. What works today might not work tomorrow. Failing to keep up with the platform's changes, new content formats, or trending topics can render content outdated, leading to diminished interest from your followers. Let's see an example of this. Sophie had a successful online boutique where she sold trendy clothes. She used to post regularly and her followers loved it. But then the platform's algorithm changed and her engagement started to drop. Sophie didn't understand why and she kept posting the same way. Eventually her comments dwindled and her business suffered. Sophie realized that staying updated was crucial. She started researching platform changes, exploring the features like stories and reels, and adapting her content to match the latest trends. As a result, her engagement picked up again. Her comment section was once again filled with compliments, questions, and orders from excited customers. The digital landscape, it evolves rapidly. Businesses that don't keep up with the platform algorithm changes, emerging trends, or new features can see a decline in engagement. If you followed us through all of the points, thank you so much for watching. There is a link down below that will cover all of this in greater detail and help you to implement it into your specific business. All right, thank you.